Hi, Sensory Wizard are proud to bring you the omiVista Mobii, and welcome to today's training session. During this session, I'm going to show you the basic functionality of the system itself. I'll take you through an activity suite and how to use it using the remote control provided. And then I'll also take you through how to edit the activities and how to create your own individualized activities specific to the user's need. We believe that this is not only a tool to improve the emotional well-being of the user, but it also has vast amounts of therapeutic benefits, and I'll show you why. So here we have the unit itself. On one side, you'll see where the power cord goes in. On the other side, there's the on and off button, as well as a USB port. And on the back, there's two buttons. One, which makes it go down and allows it to project onto the floor. And when it's on the floor, it projects an image up to 2.5 meters wide. And then simply by pressing the other button, it raises so that you can project it onto a table surface or even onto someone's bed. There's 3 activity suites available for the Vista Mobii: an autism suite, a sensory suite, or an aged care suite. The unit itself comes standard with 1 activity suite. Every additional activity suite is $300 after that. So if you wanted to purchase more than the one that you've already got, that's always available. The autism suite comes with 166 activities. It's designed to help both children or adults with autism understand feelings, read facial expressions, how to initiate conversation or respond in conversation, understand figurative language, understand varying likes or dislikes, and identify danger in everyday settings. Basically designed to help these people understand the world that we live in. The sensory suite comes with 338 activities. The activities are designed to encourage movement, develop coordination and balance if it's projected onto the floor, build observational skills and decision making, learn phonetic letter sounds, and there's also activities to help with relaxing and calming. The aged care suite comes with 120 activities designed to encourage movement, promote social interaction between residents and staff with group involvement, stimulate memory recall through nostalgic images and music, and also support emotional well-being by providing laughter and joy. And then there's also activities to help reduce anxiety. We're always working on new activities and developing new activity suites. We'll let you know as soon as they become available. Now let's jump into the system and see how it works. So here's our standard home screen. Now yours will look a little bit different because we've got every activity suite, but here's what it looks like. And it's simply just a Windows-based system. So it's easy to use and easy to navigate through. The one on the left here I've got highlighted is the aged care suite, then an autism suite, a personalized activity program, which I'll take you through later on, and then also the sensory suite. So we're just using the remote control to navigate left or right through the different activities. Now let's dive into the aged care suite. We'll just click OK on the remote control. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of activities here. We've got 120 activities. Now, I don't call these games, I call them activities because they really are therapy-based activities with specific goals and intentions in mind. You'll notice up the very top of the screen, there's a purple strip. This is where we talk about what the actual activity is, but also provide some notes for whoever the facilitator may be, whether it be a teacher or a carer. So in this particular example here, the purple is designated with a quiz activity. So the notes here say questions about pop stars and lyrics to support memory and initiate discussions. So rather than just having a quiz activity, this is used to promote discussion amongst the users. So here we have the starting screen of the activity, and it says, "Who sung Blue Suede Shoes?" Now, simply by either touching with hands, or you might want to use a pool noodle. You can choose the relevant answer. But rather than just answer the question, why not use it as a tool to create discussion amongst the users? So you might say, look, there's an image of Frank Sinatra here. You might want to say, who knows Frank Sinatra's music? Who ever saw him in concert? Who knows some of his records? And create discussion amongst the users, particularly, obviously, in aged care, being the aged care suite. It would help promote memory recall and bring back memories of and nostalgic moments. Now, I should also add that when it's projected onto a table setting, you could have up to 6 or 7 residents sitting around the table at once. You wouldn't obviously have people sitting on the same side as the actual projector, because then that would block the image. But the other 3 sides can all be used to interact with the activity. So let's jump out of this activity simply by clicking OK again, and we'll go down and look at another activity. So the yellow activities are called scatter activities. Now, what I mean by this is there's images on the screen, and by simply waving or touching the images, they disappear and reveal an image underneath. So for instance here, this activity is called Spitfire. So once again, I'm just going to use a pool noodle just so it's easier to reach along. And you can see how the clouds disappear to reveal an image underneath. And there's also sound effects coming out of the projector as well. And I can simply use the remote control. There's a volume control on that to adjust the volume, whether it be louder or softer. Now this one's great for encouraging movement. Now, as you can see, the next activity is marked red, and these are called splat activities. Now, these can get a little bit crazy, so just be aware of that. You might want to have, if there's 6 or 7 residents sitting around the table, if they all have a pool noodle, it's about splatting whatever's moving around the screen. Now, this is great not only for movement, but also hand-eye coordination as well. And using the remote control, I can adjust the speed of the objects moving around the screen to make them faster and more challenging. Or depending on the abilities of the users, you can slow them right down to make it more obtainable. A crowd favourite, particularly in aged care, is the snow splat activity. Now, who doesn't have memories? Well, I suppose there are people about going to the snow and having a snow fight. So like I said earlier, rather than just having an activity, what about creating discussion amongst the residents and talking about who has been to the snow, who has memories of the snow, to really stimulate that memory recall and the nostalgic moments. The next type of activity is very calming type activity. It's called a water activity. This is the most popular one, called coral reef. And this is great whether it be projected onto the floor or a table. I've also actually seen this one projected onto someone's bed. So if there's a resident who's less mobile or someone who's not unwell and laying in bed, they might have high anxiety. So this is a great one for creating calmness. As you can see, wherever movement is picked up, it creates ripples on the screen and the fish swim away. Using the remote control, I can change the speed of the fish to speed them up or slow them down. But it's a great activity. Another type of water activity which is fantastic is a water target game. So imagine this projected onto a table or floor and residents sitting back with beanbags and trying to hit the target and then tally up a score. It becomes not only a fun game for movement, hand-eye coordination, but it's also a competitive game as well. The next one down is called a wipe activity. Now this is simply, in the back end, you'll notice later on when I show you, a number of images that are layered one on top of each other. So the top image is a black and white. And then as we touch it, it becomes a color image. Now this is a great activity. Let me just speed up the feedback, or the fadeback. This is a great one for giving residents paintbrushes. You can have large paintbrushes or small paintbrushes, but it becomes a really calming painting exercise. So using the remote control, we can change the speed at which the black and white image returns so that it gives everyone an opportunity to finish the painting. And there's a few different types of wipe activities as well. So some of them have a silhouette or a shadow where you've got to paint it and reveal what the image is. And others that are more just photos, which are also very nostalgic as well. Now the last type of activity is called a zone activity. Now this is depending on where you hit on the screen, it'll make a different sound effect. It's a really fun one for when it's projected onto the floor and promoting movement. Whether it be a glockenspiel or different musical tiles. Now you may have noticed that with your Vista Mobii, you not only received a remote control, you also received a keyboard. Now this keyboard allows you to edit and duplicate and create your own activities that are personalized to the user. So you may have purchased the Aged Care Activity Suite that has 120 activities, but you are not restricted to 120 activities. You can create as many as you like. Simply a USB, we'll put it in the side of the machine, if I can find it. And that enables us to upload photos, images, sounds, and even videos so that we can then create our own activities. Now let me show you how. So here we are back at the home screen of an activity suite. So what I'm going to do is start by flicking on our keyboard just at the top and pressing Control M. And you'll see up the top that brings up a menu. And the drop downs are New, Import, Rename, Duplicate, Move, Export or Delete. And if I click on an actual activity, then it also brings up an edit function. So what I'm going to do, let's just click across to an activity. And I'm going to choose Gifts of Love, which is a scatter activity. And I'm going to make a duplicate of it. So the drop down asked me where I want to move it to or make a duplicate of it to. Now you remember I've had a personalized folder. So I'm going to move it into that personalized folder. Done. So that's now made a duplicate of that activity. It's best to always make a duplicate rather than change the original so that you've always got a template to go back to. So moving into that personalized folder, there it is. So what I'm going to do is now go up and hit edit. So once we go into edit, there's the information. So the name of the activity, the description, and also the notes, and you can change any of that. There's the images. So the individual objects, which in this case are the rose petals, and then the background image. You can change the sound effects. And then also in the settings, there's the speed of which the objects move, the size of the images, etc. So just for now, just to keep it simple, I'm going to change the background image. Now you may remember I've got a USB which I've put in the side. So I'm going to choose image or video and import. So D drive is the USB, and on that USB I have got a family pic. So I'm going to choose family, accept. Now you've seen that image has now changed over. So I can go save and exit. So when I now go into that activity, it's once again got the rose petals because I didn't change the objects on top. However, when I move the petals away, that's got a photo of my family. Now picture how important that can be for a resident who's got either dementia or Alzheimer's. And there's nothing more heartbreaking than when their family members come in to see them and they don't remember their own names or can't remember who they are. So this creates a powerful tool for promoting and stimulating memory recall. Now let me show you some other examples that we've already done. So you may remember the quiz activities. So what I did here is I created a quiz for residents. So I grabbed an old image of a resident and then examples of what they may look like now. So all of a sudden it becomes a fun guess who game. So you might have the residents sitting around the table and they have to guess who the image is. It's not Betty, it's not Margaret, it's Ruth. Now this activity literally took 5 minutes to make. And then there's another layer of questions. So who do you think this is? It's not Michael, it's not Thomas, it's Bill. Now I've only put 2 examples of questions there, but you can have countless questions and different layers. So you may have a different question and different images of all of the residents in the home. Or if it's a classroom setting, you might have a baby photo of all the different students in the class, and the students have to guess who their photo is. Another example is you may remember there was the musical tiles, which was a zone activity. So what I've done, instead of a black background and 4 musical tiles, is I changed that into a powerful tool. Once again, for someone who may be suffering dementia or Alzheimer's. And instead of the black background, I've got a photo of my family. And instead of the squares, I put their faces. So,
hi, Gran, it's me, your grandson, Oakley.
Hi, Gran, it's your granddaughter, Bella.
hi Mum, it's your son, Ash.
Hi, Susie, it's Darielle.
So this allows the user to not only remember the faces, but also remember the names and hear the voices and keep that spark alive as long as possible. And then finally, another very simple way you can edit the activities and make it personalized is a wipe activity. And once again, there's not just 2 photos you can have on a wipe activity, you can have up to 100 different photos. To really stimulate memories of someone's past, their family members, and so forth. So in this particular example, there's 3 photos. And as I said, you can have as many as you like. So there's some very simple examples on how you can edit the activities very quickly and very easily and create very powerful tools. So there we have an overview of the Vista Mobii, a rundown of how to navigate through the different types of activities, and also how to edit and create your own activities to create powerful tools to engage the user. Take some time to learn the system yourself and have a play around. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us at sales@sensorywizard.com.au. And also, if you have any great feedback or great wins, we'd love to hear about them too. Congratulations on your purchase, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks very much.